Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I just saw my hair flying up there. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on the WITN First Alert Desk. I'm joined by Dustin this morning. And Dustin, Jim and I all morning have been tracking Hurricane Erin as it made its closest approach to the North Carolina coast. And we were really starting to see the effects. We've been seeing the effects, especially along the Outer Banks. I know that Highway 12 got quite a bit of overwash last night. We also checked in on some of the cameras from NCDOT this morning, and I just wanted to pull those up really quickly.
Sure.
So we do have here, this is, if I can grab it, this is Ocracoke as of 8 o'clock this morning. So as you can see, got that sand on the roadway, just really blocking the roads. They are closed. Especially Ocracoke and Hatteras Island as well. That's where they're seeing a lot of the significant impact. So here's Ocracoke Ferry Dock, and then we also had north of Hatteras Village right here. This was a pretty significant one that Jim and I were talking about earlier today. Just you could see that water just all over the roadway there.
Yeah, I mean, it was expected to happen. I mean, you know, that was forecasted to occur, and that I guess it must be one of the work trucks, I would imagine, I would guess.
Yeah, they do have crews out there.
Somebody out there has to clear it. Somebody's got to clean that off.
Yeah, I know.
And the thing of it is, the wind is not going to do much of a help today either, because it's going to continue to blow more of that over along Highway 12. So probably going to be to about, say, next week when probably that whole highway is open, because people were trying to get to vacations.
Right.
They had to leave, but next weekend's Labor Day, so they can just hold off to Labor Day.
Yeah, that's very true. We're almost to Labor Day, so that'll be a nice time to finally enjoy the beach. Although there were a lot of people actually at the beach down on the Crystal Coast this morning. We had our Stephen Glover join us for our morning show, and he showed us some of the conditions down there. And a lot of people were sitting out on the beach watching the waves crash. I know that especially once the sun rose, we were really able to see those waves just crashing into the pier at Atlantic Beach. Just really goes to show the impacts that Erin was really making on the waves there. Oh
yeah, and the good news is that today that storm's going away.
Yes.
Still gonna be dealing with the winds. That's the only thing we're watching with that. Is we do have our first alert weather day. We're gonna let this go again till about noon time, give or take. And this afternoon we may be able to let this go. Hopefully we can. But yeah, still watching for some coastal flooding and large waves as well. But latest on Erin this morning, we're still at a Category 2 storm, and we thought it would become a Cat 3, but of course it started running some drier air and weakening a little bit of it. It started to kind of fall apart. So there's some good news with that. It's going to kick some speed and get going out of the Atlantic and be out of our way for next week. It'll be more of a ship lanes issue than anything along the deep Atlantic, heading up towards the Iceland and Greenland area. So that's what we're dealing with that. There's a little bit of the outer bands. Still, we had a few of those showers this morning. That's really about it, though. That was not creating any headaches or anything, but the satellite imagery showcases the swirl of the storm here. Of course, yesterday you could see it so well because the confined eye was so popping up. Now this morning, what eye? It's struggling to even develop now. So that's the good news with that. Still a Category 2 storm, but moving well off our shoreline. But after that, it's going to get pretty quiet, thankfully. Minus a few little showers here or there. Tropical storm warnings continue until further notice. Looked at that. They said they go until Sunday. I don't think they'll go that far, but probably out of precaution, they may have extended those out just to be safe with that as well. Temperatures, though, not too bad out the door. Upper 70s and low 80s here. So feeling like morning of a tropical morning, as you should expect, to see those 70s and 80-degree temperatures. Winds out of the northeast about 10 to 15 miles an hour, 20 to 30 along our coastline. So really gusty, sustained winds. Gusty winds as of now between 20 and 40, so definitely a breezy morning there along our coast. I think the highest wind gust we had was well over about 45 miles an hour. So thankfully we did pretty good with our gusts along the Outer Banks there, and the same story for the Crystal Coast. High 10 to 15 foot waves. We could possibly see a little less than those, but still watch out for that beach erosion. And again, as the storm moves its way out to sea, it's going to start to lose its momentum, but still remaining breezy at times. For the rest of today, along those Crystal Coast and Outer Banks counties, holding that status out of the north there, about 10 to 15 miles an hour, then eventually calming down for the coast. Still breezy at times. About late Friday into Saturday morning, we'll slowly see those winds die down under 10 miles an hour. Some of those tropical wind gusts there about 20 to 30 miles an hour. So definitely something to keep in mind, that if you're traveling along Highway 12, wave heights will also come down over time. Now, we're watching not one, not two, but now 3 areas on the disturbances here. 40% chance of that development. This newly formed about the 8 o'clock advisory, that probably will not not last long, but then again, there's the latest one. Most model guidance has this curving out to sea, so it looks like we may stay away from another tropical storm of some hurricane of some sort. But over the next few hours here, we'll see this mix of clouds and sunshine develop there. And then again, over the next 8 days, we'll start to see cooling conditions, still pretty warm and humid at the times, but other than that, by next week, temperatures get back in the upper 70s and lower 80s, lows dropping in the 50s and low 60s.
I know, it's pretty impressive seeing those 50s. I know, gosh, just a few weeks ago we were talking about nearly record highs for the summer, creeping into those feels like of 100 and something. Now we're talking possible record lows.
Record lows
in August.
In August, I'm all for it. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
I
think that's a good way to break a record, is have a cool overnight low instead of breaking a hurricane record that's dropped. You know, the barometric pressure dropped like 20 millibars in the matter of 12 hours. But good to see some much needed fall air. Waterman Fels is looking good. A little warm, but it's going to be doable. You know,
hey, it's better than what it probably would have been maybe this time last month. So nice to see that. And also, I know we were talking about Hurricane Erin, the winds. This morning, Jim and I were saying how the winds weren't as gusty as he expected. Obviously, there are winds whipping around the Outer Banks and the Crystal Coast and even inland, but not enough that we were seeing anything that would cause any kind of concern or damage. Yeah,
of course, that storm was weakening as it was coming up, running into a little bit of dry air, so that kind of reduced our higher wind gust. Again, you can always, it was probably a 59, 16-mile-an-hour gust somewhere along one of those buoys out there, but obviously inland locations dodged a good bullet with that too. If we got winds less than 50 miles an hour, hey, that verified our forecast is even better for a lot of people. So I think a lot of people are happy to see those wind gusts not as high. But the main thing today, again, overwash. We could be seeing those waves continue to crash over and over. So a lot of people heading to the beach today, like you saw early this morning, might want to stay away maybe another day or so, just for the safety. Double red flags will be flying until we kind of let those seas calm down, probably till about Sunday. So it's going to probably be a few days where the water's calming down.
All right, well, that's good to know. Thank you so much, Dustin, and thank you everyone for joining us this morning. Just want to say hello to Amanda again. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well, having a good morning out there, and nice to see Dustin on the desk. I feel like it's been a while since the two of us have been here. So.
It's been a little bit, well, that's about to change. Don't you worry. I'll be back. Jim's off Monday, so I'll be back with you next Monday, and then there's a stretch I think he's out for a while, so you'll get plenty of me before it's over with. So anyway.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us again. I hope you can tune in to WITN, the First Alert Desk at 10 o'clock. I believe Bailey will be here as well. Okay. Awesome. Have a great one, everyone.